today's workout is going to be a little bit Pilates inspired. So there's going to be a little bit of squatting. I might join you. We'll see how I feel. But if I'm not joining the squat, that doesn't mean you stop. You keep going. So I'm going to pull my timer up. Oops. Close. All right. Let's get warmed up with some jumping jacks right here. Yeah, and I'm not doing any jumping these days. So you guys jump. Good news is my shoulder's feeling a million times better. So I can thank Fawn for that. And I've got to close this. I don't know why that keeps popping up. Okay. Oh. And there, I'm going to let somebody in. Keep going with those jumping jacks. We're going to go into our high knees in 2, 1, right here, high knees. Good, stay with me. We're gonna do those straight leg kicks coming up. In 3, 2, 1, right here, kick it out. Good, remember, keep your leg nice and long and your torso long. So some people's kicks are down here, that's fine. All right, we're gonna hug that knee in, right here, hug it in, nice and tall through your torso, shoulders back. Kind of squeeze those shoulder blades together just a bit. You can roll that ankle out. I might only be able to do this on one foot. And switch sides. Actually, I'm gonna use a little wall so I can, because I'm kind of on the outside of my right foot because I can't use my big toe so much yet. All right, we're gonna take our inchworms. Go ahead, you can start right here. I'm just gonna stretch in some down dog because that I can't really do plank because I'm on my toes, but in down dog I can get my heels down, keep my feet flat. Oh my gosh. You're a jerk. Okay, come on. Come on. Okay. Ten seconds here. Take your last couple. In 3, 2, 1, release. Okay. So our first round, so we've got, we kind of have 2 exercises and we're going to flip back and forth between them. Sometimes there's a little bit of variation. We're going to work from 35 seconds and we'll repeat the sequence 4 times. So our first one is goddess squat with a T-fly. And then we're going to do some good old fashioned angled bicep curls with a little adduction. And then we're going to go back to our goddess squat with a Y-fly. And then we're going to do some of these single arm tricep presses, right? So we'll work our right side the first time through, then left, then right, then left. Okay, so grab your lighter weights, ready for that T-fly. I myself, I'm going to skip that goddess squat, but you guys are going to do it. 2, 1, right here. Nice, turned out. And when you squat down, you can open up. When you go into that T-fly, squeeze those shoulders. You guys stay with the squat. I've got to keep my feet sort of more uniformly planted. Good. So those of you that popped in just a smidge late, this is going to be a little bit Pilates inspired today. Good. And grab your bicep curl weights. Take an angle, curl, 90, squeeze. Curl, 90, squeeze. Curl, 90, squeeze. Curl, 90, squeeze. Good. Curl, 90, squeeze. Curl, 90, squeeze. Back to that goddess squat in 2, 1. Lighter weights and goddess squat with your Y flat. Again, I'm not doing the squat, but you most certainly are. Watch when you raise your arms up for that fly. You want to make sure that you're not like arching through your back at all. Keep it nice and tall. Good. We got 5 seconds here, and we're going into that tricep overhead press. 2, 1. We're going to work our right arm first. So bring it back behind you and press. Some people like to sort of hold the arm here just as a guide. You want it to be that you're just flexing and extending right at that elbow. If you want to add a little squat to this, you may. You can bring it in for like a narrow squat. Good. Really try to isolate that tricep. You want this work coming from that tricep. And release. Back to your goddess. Goddess with T-fly, second time through. And here it is. Give those shoulder blades a little pinch as you open up. Little squeeze. Good. Watch those ears. Don't creep up to your shoulders. Don't creep up to your ears. Excuse me. Or, ears creep down. Good. Bicep curls coming up in 3, 2, 1. Here's our bicep curls. Angle it out. Curl, 90, adduction. Curl, 90, adduction. Curl, 90, adduction. Good. Curl, 90, adduction. Good. Stay with me here. Nice and strong. Make sure that work's coming from your biceps and not swinging your body around. 3, 2, 1. Back to our goddess with that Y fly. So Y, arms are a little bit long or wider, kind of making a letter Y shape. As opposed to, we have I right here, it's tighter, right? Which you may do, that's what you prefer. I like the I feel like I get my lats, the lats get activated a little bit in that. It's a little bit more through your back rather than just your shoulders. 3, 2, 1, and here's that tricep extension. Left hand this time, and extend. Good. Keep that isolated. Maybe you've added a little squat. Regardless, keep your torso nice and tall. It's not swinging around. And here's our goddess. Goddess with the T-fly. Here's our 3rd time through. If you want, you can pop up on your toes. Sarah reminded me last week, I think, or maybe it was Catherine, maybe both of them, that it's called releve. I'm not really a dancer. I don't really know the terms, but doing my bar training when I used to teach bar, I learned a lot of new terms. Last 3, 2, and 1. Here's our curl. And curl. 90, adduction. Good. 10 seconds here. Stay with me. And then we're to our goddess Y. 3, 2, 1. Good. Here's our goddess Y. Again, you guys can pop up on those toes and releve for your goddess if you like. Keep it nice and steady in your torso. Watch that your spine is staying nice and long and strong. It's not moving about. Right tricep in 3, 2, 1. Here it is. Up. Up. Good. Stay with me here. We've got one more time through this. 2, 1. Here we go. Here's our goddess with T-fly. And open it up. And close. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Good. Stay with me. Stay with that. Sorry, I've got to close something. Keeps popping up. 2, 1. Here's our biceps. And curl. 90, adduction. Curl. 90, adduction. Curl. 90, adduction. Good. Curl. 90, adduction. Make sure you have good control when you curl up. You're not like swinging your body around. If you are, adjust that weight. 3, 2, 1. Here's our last time with that goddess and the Y fly. Good. Left tricep extension coming up right here. And here you go. So try to keep the top part of your arm stable. It's not doing any moving. It's just staying right where it is. You're just flexing and extending right in your elbow. Good. Stay with me here and release. All right. While you guys are grabbing some water, I got to run in and grab my ball. I forgot to bring it out here, but I need to sit sometimes. Hang on. Okay, coming up, round 2. We're gonna do some good mornings, wall sit with bicep curls, and then we're gonna do more good mornings and then a wall sit with a wall slide with our arms, okay? With the good mornings, we're gonna, you can do this with or without weight. We're gonna do our first set will be with our hands behind our head. So if you have weights, maybe you're holding them at your shoulders. And legs are wide, so as wide as your mat. You're gonna hinge, squeeze your butt, come back up. Our second set, we're gonna have our arms overhead, okay? So hinge, up. So it's gonna create a lot more work in your back. So your core is gonna be working harder. I recommend doing the first round with no weights, unless this is a move you do regularly and you feel confident you're all right with some weight, okay? So we're going to start with those good mornings. Wide legs first. Weights or no weights, hands behind your head, good weights at your shoulders. And hinge, squeeze your glute and your hamstrings and come back up. So you want to be hinging right at your hips and back up. If you are somebody who has a short torso and long legs, this move sometimes has to be modified a little bit, and maybe you're kind of coming to about this point and then squeezing back up, right? So you want to make sure that you're not rounding through your back. Keep it nice and long. Good. Wall sit, 2, 1, right here. Wall sit with curls. So have a seat. I'm going to sit on my ball, but you guys are sitting on the wall, and it's just curls, so your back of your arms are touching the wall, which might mean that you can't curl up as high, and that's okay. Keeping the arms on the back of the wall really isolates that bicep, and it really encourages that good posture. Make sure your rib cage, low back, shoulders, everything's touching that wall. Good. We're coming back to those good mornings in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and come on up. This time, narrow stance or hip width stance, arms overhead, hinge, squeeze those glutes, come back up. So belly button's pulled in, squeeze that butt. If this bothers you, having your arms overhead is bothering you in any way, bring them back to your head or your hips, okay? Obviously bothering you in a painful way. Yes, we want this to feel challenging. Squeeze your glutes. And back to that wall. So this time on the wall, you're gonna make goalposts. You want your arms to touch that wall, and they slide up and they slide down, but they never leave that wall. So if you slide up kind of high and they start to pull away from the wall, that's too high. Again, your low back, your rib cage, your shoulders, your arms, everything's touching the wall. Slide it up and down. Good, yes, it's a lot of shoulder work. Back to those good mornings right here. So if you want to add a little bit of weight, wide, this is your wide stance one. Hinge, squeeze that butt. Squeeze your butt. Your head stays stacked. It's not moving around. So when you come up, back up to standing, you should be looking straight ahead. Good. Back to that wall for bicep curls in 2, 1, and bicep curls. On the wall. Come on, Rufus. Again, back of those arms. We'll see, you made it. Good boy. You terrified of life? Oh, yes. 5 seconds here, and then we're back to those good mornings, and release. So this time, nice hip width stance. I'm gonna try it with a little bit of some light weights and see how that feels. Whew. It is incredibly, so much more work. A lot of work on that core. If you've added weight, and this is hurting your back in a way that you know is not helpful, I want you to set that weight down. 5 seconds here. Take your time. And release. Back to that wall. Those wall slides. So low back, ribs, shoulders, arms, everything's touching that wall. And as you slide your arms up, and you can add weight to this also. If you want weight in your hands while you're sliding your arms up, that's fine. I'd suggest a lightweight. Good. And release. Back to that wide stance. Hinge. Squeeze the glutes. Good. I know these look so simple, but they're a lot of work. You've got to concentrate on keeping your head stacked. Your abdominal muscles are engaged. Your spine is nice and long. You're getting up because you're squeezing your butt and your hamstrings. And release. Back to the wall. You got some curls. And go. So keep the backs of the arms on the wall while you curl. Along with your low back, your ribs, your shoulders. Good. I know I'm not on a wall, but I'm trying to keep my arms pulled back as if they were on a wall. And release. Here's our narrow leg. Arms overhead. Good morning. What's up my back so much? It's just my shoulder that I'm trying to, I've nursed back to health and I wanted to stay healthy. Kind of didn't like having that extra weight combined with gravity. Good. Squeeze those glutes and release. All right, back to the wall slides. After you've made sure everything's touching the wall, you also want to check in that your knees are tracking over your ankles. You've got a 90-degree bend at your hips and at your knees, if you can. Some people need to modify that, and that's fine. And release. All right, last time through. Wide leg. And hinge. Squeeze, hinge, squeeze. Keep these knees soft when you hinge at your hips. They shouldn't be locked. And release, back to that wall. Last time with these wall bicep curls. Curl. Pull those arms back. They should be touching that wall. Tailbone against that wall, rib cage. Good. Stay with me here. We have our last set of good mornings, our narrow leg ones with our arms overhead. 2, 1, here we go. Even though those arms are overhead, our shoulders are not up to our ears. Just keep them in their neutral position where you know they're supposed to be. A little squeeze in the shoulder blades, pulling them back just a smidge. 3, 2, 1. Good. Back on that wall for our wall slides. And slide it up and down. Good. Again, tailbone, low back, ribs, shoulders. Thinking about my tailbone, tucking it. Good, nice job. Stay with me here. Last 2, 1, release. Woo, shake it out. All right, round 3. Oh, we've got some skiers. So I'm gonna have to greatly modify. Well, the goal of skiers is go on your toes. So I'm obviously not gonna do that. Then we're gonna do chest push-ups, skiers again, tricep push-ups. So a lot of skiers, a lot of push-ups. So the skiers look like this. You're back here in this kind of seated squat. And then you're gonna come up and on your toes. I obviously cannot come up on my toes, but you will. You can have weights or no weights. If you have weights, I suggest light weights. Okay, we're gonna go in 2, 1, in, here it is. And sit it back and up on your toes. So you wanna control this because you wanna look for that balance. And since I'm not going on my toes, I'm probably going a little bit faster than those of you that are going on your toes. So don't worry about keeping up with me. You go at your own pace. You know what you're doing. Last 3, 2, and 1. Down to the mat, chest push-up. So wide, hands as wide as the mat, and down. So I can do all things plank as long as I'm on my knees. You can be on your knees too. That's where you need to be working your push-up. Three, 2, 1. Back up for some skiers. Sit it back and up. Sit it back and up. So if you are a skier, you probably are very familiar with this posture. Maybe it's a ski racing thing. I've just seen it on TV. Everything I know about skiing, I've seen on TV. And release. That's not true. I have skied. I'm from Utah after all. Oh, tricep push-ups. Sorry, I don't think I clarified that. So hands under those shoulders. Keep those elbows in. These are tougher than chest push-ups. So sometimes people have a strong chest push-up on their toes, but they do need to come to their knees. Oops. And round 2, let's go. Skiers. But they do need to come to their toes with a tricep push-up. So just mind yourself where you are. Good. Remember, you guys are coming on your toes. I know it's tricky when the instructor isn't doing what they are saying you should do. But just a reminder, you guys are coming up on your toes. 2, 1, back down for those chest push-ups. Nice and wide, hands as wide as that mat. Make sure you're breathing. Look slightly ahead, so avoid this. Push-ups. 2, 1. All right, back to those skiers. And you can play with how close your feet are. So definitely not wider than hip width. If they can be right next to each other, that's going to be more of a balance challenge. But most people need like just a little bit of space. Maybe like you had a third foot that was half the size of your other feet. I think that is an alien that hasn't been created yet. 2, 1, release. All right, tricep push-ups. So elbows in. Keep your gaze slightly ahead. And release. Oh, gosh. Okay, 3 or 4 here. Back to our skiers. I want you to check in with yourself about the weight. Maybe you need no weight. Maybe you need a slightly heavier weight. Okay? Remember to come up on your toes. If you want more of a challenge, you can also step your feet so they're right next to each other if you haven't done that already. And chest push-ups. Lighted hands as wide as your mat. And go. Pull that belly button into your spine. Careful, it's not sagging. You can always modify this and go to the wall because we've got one more set after this. And release. And they are getting tough. Good. Stay with me here. Last 3, 2, 1. Tricep push-ups. I had to take my sweatshirt off. It's getting warm in here. All right. Keep those elbows in tight. Gaze ahead. Remember, the wall or bench is always an option. Release. Here's our skiers. It's our last time through, guys. Keep that core in tight as you're moving through these skiers. Maybe try to look at something that's not moving when you go up on those toes for your balance. Last set of chest push-ups. Oh my gosh. Okay, last set of skiers. On your toes. You're moving through this slow and controlled. It's your last set. Three, 2, and 1. Here's our last set of tricep push-ups. I'm gonna have to modify how deep I'm going. Oh my gosh. 7 seconds, stay with me. Woo. Oh my gosh. Okay. Triceps are done with me today. All right. We're gonna come down to the ground. We're gonna do some donkey kicks, and we're gonna add that hip opening that we did with Catherine last week. And then we're gonna flip over onto our butts and do some earthquake. Okay. So you can add. I have to take these off for the donkey kicks. I'm so cold in the morning. It's just like not enough layers. And now it's enough layers. All right, so you can do this with or without weight. Small weight maybe behind the back of your knee. And so we're gonna flex our foot. So the donkey kick is here. We come back to starting and open that knee out to here. Okay, we're just gonna stay with that for 30 seconds. Here we go, in 2, 1, and kick, and open. Remember that kick happens because you squeeze your butt. It's not, I'm thinking on the word, but I know you know what I mean. Good. And release. Go ahead and flip it over onto your butt. So earthquake, knees bent, hinge back, find your sticky spot, hold it here. We're just holding, arms out in front. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Remember, keep your chest lifted so you're not rounding. Nice and tall here. You should be doing a little shaking. Right here, let's bring our arms up. 1, 2. Good, hold it here. Hold it. 2, 1, and donkey kicks, other leg. And kick. Return, open up in the hip. Kick. Return, open up in the hip. Kick. Return, open up. Kick. Return, knee opens to the side. Kick. Return, open it up. Good. 2, 1, back to our earthquake. Come on back, hold it here. I'm gonna twist 1, 2, 3. Try to keep your palms touching. They don't need to be pressing. But it keeps our range of motion and our twist in our chest honest. 5 seconds. Donkey kicks on our first side. Here we go. And kick. Return. Open it up. 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 Good. Kick. Return. Open it up. 4 seconds. Kick. Return. Open it up. Nice job. Back to earthquake. Sit it back. Chest is lifted. Find that sticky spot. Hold it here. Right here. Let's bring our arms up overhead a little sooner than last time. For a little extra magic, right? Stay with me. This should have made the earthquake a little more earthquakey. Last 3, 2, 1. Donkey kick on that second side. Kick. Return. Open to the side. Kick. Return. Open to the side. Kick. Return. Open to the side. Good. Stay with me. Keep that belly button pulled in tight. Shoulders out of those ears. 3, 2, 1. Here's our earthquake with our twist. So here, lean it back. Squeeze our shoulder blades together just a little bit. And rotate, rotate, rotate. Good. You could have a weight if you wanted to add on. The weight's good. Keep that chest open and lifted. Careful you're not collapsing. Nice and tall. Oh, donkey kick. This is our third time through. And kick. Return. Open to the side. Squeeze that butt for that kick. So you're not using momentum. Squeeze. So your lift, how high it goes, has a lot to do with your squeeze. So if you get up here and you're like, I can go higher, squeeze your butt, see what happens. Squeeze it. Okay, here we go. Here's our earthquake. Lean it back and arms up. Good. Stay with me. Holding this position, can you hinge back just a little bit more? Just a little bit. It doesn't have to be that far. You'll see. Breathe. Release. Good job. All right, second side for our donkey kick. And kick. Remember to get that little extra squeeze up there without arching in your back. So this shouldn't, that little extra squeeze shouldn't change the shape of your back. Good. Earthquake with a twist right here. And back. Oh, wait, no wait, 2. And twist. Stay nice and lifted through that chest. Don't collapse. Good. And here we go, donkey kick, last time through. Last time through, what are we at, 8:45? Kick, open. Kick, check in, are you getting that last little squeeze? Get that last little squeeze. Without arching through your spine, so your abs stay super engaged. And here we go with our earthquake. Lean it back and arms up. Good. Hold it here. Nice and tall through that torso. Maybe a little bit of a extra hinge if you got it in you. You got 12 seconds to go. Keep breathing. Release. All right. Last donkey kick. So you should be on that second leg. And open to the side. Kick. And open. Get that last little squeeze. You should not be arching through your back when you get it. Two, 1, here we go. Here's our earthquake with a twist. Sit it back, nice and tall, twist. I know it doesn't look like much, and it might not even feel like much, but I think this will be one of those that surprises you when you have a big cough or a big laugh. There should be no coughing, no coughing. And release, nice job. Grab a little water. Okay, so we are gonna do, let's see, it's 8:47. I'm hopeful we can get through one more set. I think that'll happen. So we're gonna do some leg lifts. So we're gonna be on our side, and then we're gonna do some plank. Okay, so our leg lifts, you're gonna be here, arm out, well, you can have arm out, or I like to make a little pillow. And this top arm here, and we're gonna just start with this lift here. And although legs are heavy and they're gonna be doing their own work, I also want you to think about initiating from your oblique, okay? And then we're going through this 4 times, so we'll sort of play with some different variations. And we've got plank in between. Okay, 2, 1, here we go. So first one is just the lift. Keep those legs glued together. I think it helps if you flex or point your toes, so you can pick one or the other. They don't come all the way back to the ground. It's just like a hover. Again, try to initiate that lift from your obliques. Squeeze, yeah, there you go. Good, 10 seconds. We're gonna flip over and face our mat for some plank work. 3, 2, and 1. Flip over, up into plank, and we're gonna do shoulder tap, kick, kick, okay? You guys can be on your toes, kick, kick. I'm obviously going to be on my knees, kick, kick. So it's shoulder, shoulder, leg, leg. I'm gonna flip over to our other side and do those leg lifts. Okay, here we go. You're on your left side, down and lift. Again, you try to initiate that movement right from your obliques. Feet, head's resting. I just caught myself lifting it. So keep your head rested. We don't want to be straining in our necks. We're going to do a plank jack. So a forearm plank. Hopping our feet out. So you guys are going to hop. I'm going to step, but you can join me with the step also. So depending on where you are, keep your gaze slightly ahead, maybe at your fingers. So you're doing either tap out or you're doing a plank jack. We're going to work our our first side, whatever side that was, right here. So you're back to your first side. Lift those legs. We're going to lift them, and this time keep them lifted and lift the top leg. Just lift that top leg. Good. Again, so it's a static hold here in your obliques. Good. Stay with me. Keep that bottom leg lifted. I just caught mine drifting down. 3, 2, 1. Here's our plank. Plank with shoulder tap, kick, kick. Shoulder tap, kick, kick. Now you could combine opposite shoulder, opposite hand, opposite leg if you want to work on that. You probably will have to move a little slower to maintain that balance. Pull those abdominal muscles in. And release. On to that second side. We're going to do the same thing where we lift and then lift that top leg. So it's a static hold here in our obliques. Good. Watch that bottom leg doesn't float down. Got some plank jacks next. Good. Stay with me. And release. Onto your forearms. And plank jacks. Look at those fingers, those hands. Keep those shoulders out of your ears. A little squeeze of those shoulder blades together. Okay. So if you're going for it with that plank jack, I still want you to think about what your shoulders are doing to stabilize you. 4 seconds here. And we're back to our first side for a little bit leg lift variation. All right. Back to this first side. This time we're going to lift here and the bottom leg up and down. Okay. Again, static hold right here. Smaller movement. Maybe a little bit of a brain tease. Good, 2, 1. Flip it over into our plank for our shoulder tap, tap, kick, kick. And you can combine them, opposite hand and opposite leg lift. Maybe slow it down a little bit. Breathe. And flip it over to our second side. Lift and bottom leg up, up, up. Rest that head. Remember, you're squeezing here in your obliques to keep that balance, or excuse me, keep that leg lifted. This front arm is for your balance. A kickstand. Good. Plank jacks. Last time, I think I'm going to finish this up. I want to finish that leg series. We're going to do some scissoring. So plank jacks here. This is your last plank of the day. We're running out of time, so. Keep those abs pulled in. Keep looking ahead. And release. All right, back to that first side. We're gonna lift here and scissor, scissor. Good. So the trick here is that your torso is not moving, okay? So you're not doing like a bunch of arching. No flexion and extension is happening in that spine. So your scissor is only as wide as your torso allows. Keep those abs pulled in. All right, flip it over. Other side. And I had more planned, but we're just not going to get to it today. So I will save it for next week. Thursday, I'll see you at Lori's class. Keep using those obliques to keep those legs lifted. And yes, this hand is necessary right here. I know I have not mastered this balance yet. Good. You might notice your scissor has a different range on your other side. Good. Release. Whew. And we're going to do some stretching from sitting. Pause that. So I don't know about you, but that got me in the hips here. So let's start with tucking your leg in. Nice and long here. And hinge over. So you want to think about hinging from your hips, belly button to your thigh. So for some people, it looks like this, and that's, you can feel a stretch from that. So it's kind of about where you can have, where do you get a stretch? Everyone's different. This is why I mentioned having a strap or a block. So if you have a strap and you're somebody that needs that support, you can use the strap here to kind of pull. I meant to grab mine to the model, I forgot. And then go ahead and hinge it on up. Let's bring that knee up to our chest. Hug it in. Nice big inhale. Reach our right arm behind us and twist, hugging that knee with our left arm. Keep those shoulders in neutral. And release. And right here, let's do a little figure 4 stretch. So bottom leg is bent across that top ankle over that bottom knee. If you want, you can scoot in. And you want to try and press that knee away from you. So you should feel this in your outer hip of that top leg. Breathe here. And release, slide it back. Release those legs. Let's do our other side. So left leg bent, right leg extended. Nice big inhale and hinge. So use that strap, the towel or t-shirt, whatever you have, to help with the stretch. Nice big inhale here, and on that exhale, hinge it back up. Hug that knee into your chest and bring that left arm behind you. Hug with your right. And release that. Let's do that figure 4. Cross that ankle over that knee, flex your foot. You can scoot your bottom in to kind of increase the intensity of that stretch. And release, let's scoot back. And extend both those legs. So here again, if you've got tight hamstrings or maybe a short waist, if you have something to sit on, we get a yoga block or a cushion, it can help with the stretch. I'm gonna inhale here, exhale, hinge forward. Take a big inhale, and on that exhale, come up. And one more time, inhale, hinge forward. Nod your head yes, take it no. And lift it on up. And you are done. Thank you. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for bearing with me during my toe issues. And I'll see you guys Thursday at Lori's class. And then next week, we're back to our regular schedule. So
Thank you, Molly.
you're welcome.
Molly.
Thank you, Molly.
Happy
You're
Thanksgiving,
welcome.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yes,
Happy Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving.